Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Dude, that's weird.
Yeah, that was kind of uncanny.
That's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
We are an unusual podcast.
Oh, for real? Wow.
Yeah, there's no doubt there.
Well, let's start the insanity.
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Hey, welcome, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yep. I'm definitely excited to get the show started tonight.
What's up? Remember those commercials?
Dude,
They had a moment.
there was
They had a moment.
I don't know. I'm in the drone zone right now.
Okay.
I'm kind of just space. Ooh, the live chat is up.
Popping.
My man Dave Barrable.
Mm-hmm.
You know him?
Who?
Dave Barrable.
How do you say his last name?
Barrable.
Bubba?
How about the Crown Vic winner, Greg Prevost? Tonight?
Oh, is that him?
Say, yes.
Howdy, Greg.
Chilling.
Welcome to Sid's View Podcast.
Oh, we got some regulars here. James, how you doing?
James, oh yeah.
Kenny?
Yo, Diego. You see? CT Racing? You see
Kenny
that?
burning up 3 of his comments right out of the rip.
Yo, Kenny. Yeah, your comments, you got to slow down. How many does he get?
He gets
I thought it was
20.
20.
Yeah.
He's at 3.
It's already burned up like 15% of the quota.
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
That's
Fresh from the Arute.
That's the Kenny. That's the
762.
Kenny drop right there.
Oh, that's great. Kenny has even got a drop. He's going to be loving this. You know he's at home right now.
Yep.
Smiling from ear to ear.
Oh,
Man,
too funny.
Kenny.
James, were you watching the Arute 762? That was a
Did
banger.
anybody tune into it today? I was like, didn't know what was happening.
In a way, I was the director of the stream. I mean,
You were?
Yeah, I set up the little ticker with the lab counter.
I thought
and the
you did a
timestamp.
very good job.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, everything you do, Fro, is just perfect.
Thank you.
No,
You know,
I mean,
very
yeah,
meticulous
kiss ass.
switching with the one
no,
camera.
I mean, from the outfits you wear to the hairstyle.
Well, that just comes natural.
Bro, you got it going on.
DeSalvo's in the chat. He says it's going to get spicy.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't even know how spicy it's going to get once we try to figure out who won the week.
Oh, yes. I got a real oddball who won the week.
What was that fart noise you just made with the microphone?
Yeah,
what are you doing over there?
I don't know. I was just playing with I'm sitting here all day.
He likes playing with knobs. It's okay.
Oh, stop.
Oh.
Stop. Jack, you said stuff all night, and now you're going to bust my balls?
Guy,
The hell?
gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Guy's still freaking tired
What?
from last night's concert.
Once the on-air goes on, the game changes, Diego.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know.
Hey, that's what she said.
Dude, getting out of Gillette last night was brutal.
Nobody
Oh my
cares,
God.
dude.
Damn, all right.
I bet Bill Hahn thought it was great.
I bet he did.
You know Bill Hahn?
I know him all right.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if he was watching that.
30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Who'd you go see again?
Kendrick and SZA.
Oh, yeah, SZA.
Yeah,
Kendrick-
get some rock in,
Kendrick
Slick Rick
Lamar's
in there.
song, though, is good. Makes me want to dance. You guys want to see me dance?
No.
No,
No?
God,
Are you,
no.
No.
Are you, Remy? You would love to see me break
Diego,
it
show
down.
started. You don't
No,
get to
I
dance
learn a
yet.
lot from JJ.
Here we go. Again with this? What happened? I'm devastated.
Me too. Me too.
What the hell could have happened?
No, let's get a replay.
Should we get a replay?
Let's get a replay. But we could
What
do that.
happened?
What happened there?
Oh, I know what happened.
Oh, there we go.
Are we on? No, we're doing it again.
Let's
We're
do
doing
it.
it again.
Uh-oh. All right. Yes, I got another minute to talk about Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, maybe now we can see Diego dance. None of the viewers will, but
You want to see me dance? I'm going to give you a little sample. Watch this.
Absolutely.
We're getting another moment.
This is what I used to do. Watch this. You see that?
That actually was kind of freaky. I'm like, that was kind of sick,
You like it, right?
kinda-
I got skills, bro.
dude.
You know what I mean?
I
I used
never doubted you.
to be able to windmill.
Bullshit.
The windmill?
Oh, you don't believe me?
No.
Why?
Because I couldn't do it.
You, bro. You look at.
Look
you
at
know how-
me. You think I did it?
The hell no.
Exactly.
Hell no. I can still do it.
All right, after the show, I want to see that.
What do you even know what the windmill is?
after.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Bill Hahn knows what it is.
Of course he does.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're going to try it again. Here we go. Ready?
Let's go. Yeah.
That's what she said.
back to the Man Cave for another edition of the SID podcast. Diego, you gotta start talking because I'm still laughing.
Listen, we've got a lot to talk about. Speedball action. Let's go.
All right, we got our girl Rems over here on the controls. I think I probably have to turn this down a little bit. It'll probably be better, but people to hear.
Am I going to be the one doing this?
I was going to have Brody do it, but I think he's in the garage painting his car brighter color so you can see it a little bit better.
Wow.
Yo,
Oh,
yo,
my goodness.
It's a beautiful Tuesday. I'm here with my boys. Let's do this.
All right, my man Fro down there. Bowling shirts, 2-for-1 special.
What up, everybody? Your man Rob back in the house always, and hopefully Mother Nature is not, because I'm freaking tired of her.
Okay, and then we got our man Jack over at the news desk. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? We got drama at the bowl. Rowdy Burns doing the double at Seekonk. You'll hear from me in a minute. I botched the intro.
That's all right. So did I. I just made people wait another minute. You know what I mean? I had problems with volume buttons. It's all good, bro. It's all
Viewers
good.
trickling in.
Yeah. So listen, if you want to join the fun, and we are having fun, you want to get into that live chat, go to youtube.com/SidsView/join, $4.99 a month. Become a podcast member. Get yourself some bonus videos on Thursdays as well. And as always, we want to thank our friends over at Monaco Ford. I got them going on there. They're going to take care of us with the results ticker, everything that was going on. So Friday rained out.
Yep.
Mother Nature's been tough on a few of the tracks here, huh?
Yeah, it's been, listen, Saturday didn't look good either. I thought, honestly, I'm like, my boy Snuggles, I don't know if you guys knew who Snuggles is, but he's the big dog down at Tricon. He came home and visited his dad, Smitty, and he sent me a text Thursday. Hey, you guys racing Saturday? I'm like, yeah. And so he was going to be there. It rained so bad Friday night.
Yeah.
I thought for sure. I'm like, man, it's going to be
Bowl's
tough.
going to be flooded.
So total kudos to the Speedbowl for getting everything pumped out. I mean, the parking lot, Sid, you wouldn't know because you weren't there.
Oh, okay.
But the parking lot was parking lot was pretty flooded, but the infield was not. Turned out to be a beautiful day at the Waterford Speedbowl. So
I think that, and I guess people will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Sean Foster's work down there has helped in terms of that infield not flooding like it used to.
Yeah.
I know that he did extensive work with that drainage thing, and I think there was some sort of blockage there that brought it out behind the stream that he alleviated, and I don't think the infield flooding has been an issue since then. So I could be wrong, but I think that's the case, and if so, that's good because that was a major problem down there.
I was very surprised. Like, we showed up, and I'm like, first thing I did is got out of my hauler. Just wanted to go look at the track.
Yeah.
And there was literally like just a little puddle at the start finish. You know where it builds up there all the time there?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Always.
But I mean, the amount of rain that we've got Friday night, I thought for sure.
I completely wrote it off. I was
like,
Saturday.
and then it was like spitting all day Saturday morning.
Right.
Me and Rachel went to breakfast like we normally do, and I'm like, we're just driving around. I'm like, I don't think they're going to get it in.
No.
And to my surprise, maybe they shouldn't have got it in after what happened, but we'll talk about that.
Did you see? Did you see Keeter? They Oxford's gotten rained out for a full month.
That's unbelievable.
That's crazy, huh?
Listen, you know what's terrible about that is like, is his name Mayberry?
Mayberry.
Yeah, Mayberry went through that early this season.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he helps run Thompson with Mashad, so he's been feeling that pain too.
I'm just saying, like, man, I mean, I don't think, me and you, we think, yeah, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Right. But if that was me and you that own the track,
right,
it's devastating right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're on fumes. I mean, lucky maybe these guys have a couple bucks behind them, but I mean, for some of these tracks that could be on of a shoestring, that's devastating.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel bad for
I could only imagine, like, even when we have shoots, and of course, like, my crew is obviously much smaller than a team to operate a racetrack,
right.
But even if we have to go an event, even like, there was rain in the forecast for tomorrow, we're going to go shoot for Monaco Mods, and it's like, is
it supposed to rain tomorrow?
I mean, I think we might be in the clear.
Clearing up a little bit.
It seems to be getting progressively better every time so fingers crossed. But to your point, I just think about, like, if we all have to go up there, not only just bringing the equipment out and then you pay, and then you got to go up there again if they postpone it, it's.
I got a question.
Yeah, it's a pain.
So when do tracks, like Tapley's always hot on the live chat, and they lost their first 6 shows.
Yeah.
Right.
First 6 act shows, and those shows.
Damn.
I mean, listen, I know we're probably going to get to it
line.
in the news, But have you seen some of the videos from Star?
Yeah.
I mean, the car count is amazing for that division.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so strong. I think they sent home 6 cars.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but when does
They're always sending home cars.
when does a series like that, if they're a traveling series, when did they start building next day rainouts into I mean, a 6? I mean, how do you absorb that?
Right.
I know.
They had a 30 car count to start the feature.
Right.
Yeah.
30 cars. Yeah.
You know, I always remember, when I was doing the Speedbowl documentary, and Terry was telling me, I think it was 6 rainouts, that he basically said, looking back at it, that hurt him so bad that he never recovered from that. And that was like 2002 or 3.
Right.
Damn.
And, if you think back to his tenure, it kind of was all good up until then. He got the NASCAR sanction, bought the track, started Wild Wacky Wednesday. Car counts were
Right.
still really good. Crowds were good. And it all kind of started going downhill around then. So I obviously took what he said. But, every track is different. Every scenario is different. But I always remember that. Like, that's all it can take is 6
Yeah.
rainouts in one season.
Right.
And it could screw you up for
No,
a long
I-
time.
Yeah, bottom line.
I know. I
That's
feel
hard.
like I think to myself, and I didn't mean to do that to you, but if I own the track, like how do you absorb that? I mean, when do you say, okay? I mean, is it okay? This would probably be a great popcorn stat chat. I mean, like when do you say, okay, next year we're going to build in Sundays early, because a lot of rainouts are early in the season. So all right, for the first 7 weeks, 5 of those we're going to have rain dates for Sunday, just in case.
Yeah.
Because usually during the summer you get great runs. Right, but it's early in the spring where this starts to happen.
I think it would be easier for tracks to do that, but like when you're talking about like the Yak Tour,
100%.
Yeah.
they're gonna come. The
Right.
majority of those guys are way up there.
Yeah.
You can't build in a
Right.
next day rain date for a Seekonk
Right.
event.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was going to reply with, too. I mean, with the touring series, especially when, you keep casting the net wider and wider, if it's like, let's say it's a series that goes to pretty much all New England, you got guys coming from all over, it's hard enough to try and get all your best guys there on one day. And now you're saying,
Yeah.
we got to block out the whole weekend, let alone logistics of travel and all that. It gets really out of hand fast.
Well, I could see that, but maybe on the local level,
Yeah.
a guy
For
like
sure.
Terry, so he doesn't
Right.
get. I mean, imagine if that was a local level and a guy like Terry, like you said, 6 rainouts. I mean,
Yeah.
he's counting on that money for the mortgage, for this and
Right.
for that. He's, you're begging somebody to help me out until I get back on my feet.
Yeah, right.
6 weeks. That's no way to start a season. And I know, listen, I've been in business a long time. When you fall behind a little bit,
Takes forever to
dude,
get and
it'll
some
take
people don't.
It'll
Yeah.
take you till September where you're like, oh my God, I'm finally
Yeah,
even.
right.
And now you're going into the off season like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's something to think about, but
All right, let's get our man Jack going here. He's ready to roll. Lots to get into. Let's go to our weekly update.
All right. Once again, want to thank Fowler's Auto Wrecking for the weekly update this week. Like we mentioned previously in the intro, so Friday night at Stafford was canceled due to rain. They were supposed to run the SK Light 30 from the Sizzler, but that will now run this Friday night. So we're going to dive right into what happened at the bowl. So in the SKs, Andrew Moeller picked up his 10th career SK win.
hold on. Can we talk about that for a minute?
Go right ahead.
Please do.
What a run by, listen, congratulations to the high roller. The dude he's really good.
Right.
He wins at Stafford. He wins at Waterford. He has turned into to a great driver.
Right.
And I don't want to jinx him. He doesn't wreck a lot. He always seems to put it in the trailer.
Cool and consistent.
Yeah.
And he wins.
And he
Right.
races clean.
And he races clean. He has a lot to be proud of. His father has a lot. His father has groomed him.
Yeah.
And Andrew's a great kid. He was a great guest on the show.
Right.
And I know those guys couldn't be any prouder, but I don't want to take the light completely away from him. But Adam Gaeta had one hell of a comeback run. He almost stole one there. He ran well. He finished second. Dude,
He led like the first half of
bro,
the race,
I
right?
came up to the fence and I was like, is he getting lapped or is he leading? And Moeller was in hot
Well,
pursuit.
he had a tough opening week, right? So I can see why you say
Oh,
that.
he struggled
Yeah, he was struggling.
mightily.
Right.
And those guys are the only car, for all you people that out there that don't know, he's one of the only SK CD modifieds left, right? Everybody's Troyer, Spafco, LFR.
Yeah.
CD was the dominant car back in the day.
Back in the Dennis day,
Gaeta, we all had them. Keith started with them.
CD chassis with the Larry's motor was the hot
That was
setup.
it.
Back
Or
in the
Billy
day.
the Kid
Yep.
back in the day. And Adam Gaeta is the only one, I think, with a CD car at any track running an SK and running well.
Yeah.
And so it's a great testament to those guys. And one more person I wanted to give a shout out to. If you weren't there, you didn't see it. Josh Zentek. Do you know who that is?
The 81X.
The 81. He bought a car off Paul French over the winter. Do you know, I think he was the 3rd or 5th fastest lap in that feature and hung around 3rd
Yeah.
for the first half of that race. And guys were having a hard time to get him. And so, it's great to see these new drivers that don't normally run up front. Not Adam Gate is one of them, but Josh Zentek has been one that hasn't run up front. And I feel like he deserves a shout out. They put the money in, they got the car. After watching him, I'm like, this kid, he might squeak out a top 5 soon because he's definitely fast enough to do it. So
that's good to see when you see somebody that it's been in the game for a while and it takes them a little bit to get up to speed for them to have a good night and run up front.
Right.
It's good to see. Yeah.
It's so much more satisfying. I mean, a good case of that.
I'm watching him through the race, and I'm like, come on, Josh. You got to get in just a little deeper because Flannery was hot on his tail, But, it was really, really cool to
I mean,
see.
you never know where it goes. Once you start running good, the ceiling's kind of gone. I mean, look at like Paul Verrecchio at Stafford. I mean, he was running that division for a long time, no wins. Now he's ripped off 3 in the last 2, and now he's arguably going to be a championship contender this year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so gonna dive or not dive, but go
No,
right.
go ahead, dive. Go for it.
We're
guy.
gonna do
Dive right in.
head first into probably the most controversial, I'd say, headline story of the week. Devin Deshays wins in a photo finish over Brody Monahan in the late models at Waterford.
All right, let's do a little. Go ahead, Ram. Sorry.
I
Can you
do
really call it
have a video of it? So in case people don't know what we're talking about,
Go for it.
Roll
all
it.
right. This might not have video, audio.
This was from Rich Hearn's. I guess he posted it on Facebook. I like the little editing skills here. It's nice.
Editing. That's a loose term.
I
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, you see some white stripe in front of the white car.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at that.
That's tough.
That's clear right
the
there.
black car is all the way across the
listen,
stripe.
That's tough.
Who makes that call?
It's tough.
Who makes the call? I mean, listen, I'm an avid racer. You guys know that Diego has a potential to blow up here, and I'm trying
Probably
not
will.
to.
More
I'm
the
trying
potential.
not to, but I mean, even if you watch that video, who the hell made that call? Right?
The bus.
I love the Speedbowl, right? Initially, the transponder said Brody right away.
Right?
Yeah.
Right away. And then after it changed, it definitely said right away, Brody. Brody gets in victory lane, and then they take the flag and said, hey, we have 2 officials that said you didn't win. Right? And then you look at videos like that. There's photos that popped up today that clearly showed to me that Brody won. Now, people may think, you're a crybaby uncle. And I don't think I am. I mean, if it was like that, I mean, listen, it happened last year with Bavalaco.
Multiple times.
Right?
Right.
Like,
So here's my unbiased take on it, right?
yeah.
We have the electronic scoring. The whole point of the electronic scoring, so it's easier on the humans behind the scenes, right? And for accuracy, right?
Right.
Photo finishes, you would think go to the computer. In that split-second decision, you probably trust the computer. Why do we trust it to decide the lineup when we do a restart, right? They go back to the last lap, all decided by electronic scoring. Everything up until that point is decided by the computer.
Right.
And then on the final lap, the most important battle of the race, they say, actually, no, we're gonna let a human make that call.
Listen.
Why do you do it?
I put it in our group chat, and Sid, you brought up a valid point, and I know the rule. The last lap doesn't count. I mean, it's been blah, blah, blah. It's been perfectly clear. everybody wants to say it, right? But if you don't have a camera at the start-finish line, right?
Which they don't. That's
but
confirmed.
you don't.
Confirmed. They don't.
So who you're going to trust somebody from the bus?
Yeah.
Right? Or what? So, I'm going to say this because I freaking love the Speedbowl so very much. I feel, I feel awful for Brody, because I feel like he won the race, but it is what it is, right? These guys race. But all the video, so if the video shows, if you had a union of people or a group of people and shows that the 31 crossed the line first, why don't you reverse the call? Is that even possible, or is there not enough evidence? Is that what you think?
Well, so I called Brad LaFontaine today to get his take and see if he would shed some light from the track's point of view. And I did ask him specifically, like, is there a mechanism, if there was video footage that you saw that would contradict, what the call was made, would you revise the result? And he said no. So
right.
He basically said that there was nobody on his staff that had the 31 called as a winner, and there was no camera at the start-finish line. And so he went with his team, and that was the call.
The unbelievable part of it is so Emma had gotten jingled up, so I was watching it.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, and I know it's going to sound biased, but I would say this about anybody.
Right.
It looked to me, when I was standing in turn one again, it looked to me like Brody won. And then, there was a few people that had commented on the Speedbowl's post that had walked away from the turn 3 and 4 pit area.
Right.
That said, oh my God, I can't believe I'm reading this. Brody didn't win. I thought for sure it looked like Brody won to me also.
Well, to your point, when you said the transponder said that Brody won right off the rip, I don't understand why you wouldn't go with that.
Well, they did this last year with Bavalaco. It was the same situation. And so, I talked to my brother. I'm like, Sean, listen, it's on the official eye on the last lap for some reason. That's the rule, and that's the rule, right? But Sean's like, Diego, I was there when they put the transponders in. I was there when they put the wires in. I was there during that whole process.
Yep.
There's a one at the line, and there's one like 4 feet in front of the line.
Right.
I was there. That's the secondary one or something. Yeah, he was going on. And so, so I don't understand, to me, something has to be done differently because lap times matter when it comes to time trials or when you come to seeing how fast you are or any other thing in the track, anything to do with racing, everybody goes back to race monitor.
Right.
But when you go to winning, it don't count.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Well,
So now Sid's going to make the call from the bus. No.
Right.
I think
He didn't win. I didn't see it that way.
Well, Jeremy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Remy.
I think it's also hard for the officials because Brody's car is black. It's also not very easy to see with the lights at Waterford.
Well, Jeremy asked an important question. Are the transponders in the same spot on every car?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right. I mean, because if they
are there transponders in the back of the car?
Yeah, they're like 12 inches past the rear axle. That was tech.
Right.
That was the tech after.
So if they are, right, and you have no photo, you have no video, you essentially have no media evidence. The only evidence you have, other than he said, she said, is the computer saying this person got to the line first. I think in that case, you just have to go by that because, like we've already said now a couple of times, why else do we even have it?
It's to me, I'm going to say Remy's point is fantastic because, but there it is. But when you look at some of the points, so I kept replaying and playing. Now I know it's hard for a human eye to see it that good. I mean, we're watching the video and I'm pausing and I'm like, damn it. His nose is still in the white and Brody's nose is past the white. Who the hell saw it any different? I'm having a hard time with the video. Now, all you guys have seen something totally different? I don't understand how that happened.
The only thing I can think of is, I don't know. Well, I was going to say, how big is that stripe? I know on that video clip, Brody passes the back end of the stripe, but isn't it the first nose that touches the front end? But I mean, that's only maybe what, a foot?
How the hell does Brody's car make it past the stripe before his? You're talking about
No, I know. I
this
got
wide.
you. I'm just trying to figure out.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see
How
it.
that was
I mean,
made.
and there was photos out today that clearly, if you
Well,
look
the
at
photos
Brody,
are even more damning.
they're even
honestly.
more damaging. Brody's roof and nose is ahead. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but you know, for the people, what if that's to Emma next week? You know, I'd be pissed off as all hell.
Well, to your credit, like you said earlier, if that's something that decides a championship at the end of the season.
Well, and that's the point, because that's what happened to Babalako last year.
And not only
exactly.
that, it's you know, I always tell everybody, you never know when your last win is. I tell, you know I bring Nick up all the time, and he's really confident right now, but I think, Nick, you just don't know. Enjoy every one of them, you know? And so I feel bad for the people, you know, like Brody. The kid just loves to race and win, and like all of us do, you know? And so I don't know how to answer this question, but I don't know.
I was just going to say two things. Race Monitor sucks for accuracy, so there was a lot of screenshot and Race Monitor, and I just have to say my piece on it. Race Monitor sucks. It's so glitchy. There's all kinds of issues with it, and I heard some people in the chat talking about how a camera on the start-finish line and why that will help. Let's not forget, they were utilizing the camera at the start-finish line last year, and Babalako's, you know, it's the same call. So that doesn't, just putting a camera there is not going to solve the issue, because we had that issue last year when there was a camera for them to look at. So, I mean, listen, it's a bummer for Brody. It looks clearly like he won the race. And
Right. Do you think it was a botch call?
yeah, going by that clip that Rich had there. Yeah.
I thought so too, but
I mean, the only caveat I will say is, I mean, it's not the best angle, but it seems to clearly look like there is stripe on the pavement in front of Deshae's car. With Brody's, there's not.
Right.
But the optimum angle is right at the start-finish line, or somebody shooting from the infield, you know, towards the start-finish line.
Can I tell you something too? I know this probably has nothing to do with this, but it does to me in my mind. I've played horses and dogs pretty much my whole life, right? And so when you're a gambling man and you're betting on the 2-dog to win, right? And you got $50 on him to win, and he's going to pay you $700 if he wins.
Right.
There's a photo finish. First off, in the dogs and horse races, there's always a photo. Always, because there's a lot of money on. But at the racetrack, there's a lot of money at stake. The second thing I'm going to say 99.9% of the time when I'm gambling and playing horses and dogs, the outside horse always wins. I don't know why that is, but I'm telling you, when I gamble and play the horses and dogs, that's how it always has been. And I always know if my dog's on the inside, I'm screwed. I always know that. But that's just my point. But I felt bad for Brody. I feel bad for my brother, the whole clan over there.
Yeah.
And but we's getting ready. We's getting ready to head tomorrow to North Wilkesboro to go redeem ourselves for a Cars Tour race.
Right.
That's what I'm talking
Let's
about.
go.
Let's go.
Right. And I mean, obviously, yes, it is sad for Brody, but like if it was a 64 on the outside, looked like he was ahead, I'd be making the exact same case.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you know, no offense. It would be the exact same case.
Right. That's why I didn't want to sound like I don't want to kill the Speedbowl too bad.
Right.
But you know, when I'm at work and we have a problem more than once or twice, I know their hands are slightly tied because it's whatever Bruce will allow them to do.
Right.
Right. So I understand that. But when I'm at my shop and we have a problem, once, usually I'm addressing it. Twice, we're definitely addressing it.
Yeah.
3 times, we're doing something totally different now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's only at my shop on a small level. And what does it cost for a camera to do that? Probably not a lot of money.
Probably not.
Right?
Yeah.
$200?
It depends what your setup is, but yeah, you could get it. You could get something quality done and get it on a laptop that you could view or a monitor for under $1,000.
I mean, in that case, it's about even the shutter speed. I mean, you don't need it to be a beautiful.
You know what
camera.
I mean? Like it's not a lot of money, and I know $1,000 is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, is what's happening down there. It's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, fix the freaking mic too. Please
Listen.
I don't want to kill you.
Get too unhinged here.
So a couple things. $1,000. Listen, $1,000 is $1,000. It's not like it's nothing, but I always think about like what you guys spend on your race cars. $1,000 is incomparably. It shouldn't be an issue if that's what it costs to
in a
get
week.
that.
Some of us spend that.
But again, like I said, that doesn't guarantee you're not going to have bad calls because they had a camera there, from how I understand it, last year, and it didn't help Babalaka win the.
Have this the camera has the same batteries in it. That's why.
Oh, as the microphones.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Oh, Jack's the showrunner now, huh? I guess we're moving on. Okay.
Listen, at this point, just crowdfund $25 from each driver and get a camera. I'm sure they'll all be on board, except for 64, maybe.
Should we talk about?
I'm kidding. Come on, obvious jokes here.
Should we? It's a couple people brought it up in the chat about why we weren't there filming. Should I just address that?
Yeah.
here
Well, I mean, maybe if we
we're
would
on
have
the
had some
subject.
filming.
No. This is not my fault.
Sid.
Listen, sponsorship rules the day. All race teams understand that. That's how SID's views operate. And unfortunately, we did not have a sponsor for the single cam shoot, and therefore we did not go down there to shoot. Now, the good news is
Yes.
we do have a sponsor for next week. So, a matter of fact, the Beal family, CIC Automotive, they basically picked up most of the extra distance races. So there's a street or 50 lapper, like all the races when we're not doing Sid's View that have an extra distance event. Barabalt's 43. Those are all locked in for single cam shoots, but all the other ones are open. And I wish we had the free time to go down there and just do it for fun, but unfortunately, Unfortunately, those days are over. So you can go to sidsview.com/sponsorship if you're interested in sponsoring some single cam shoots. And we'll take it as it comes in. But we will be there next week.
Well, you know what sucks is that I think you were missed.
Yeah.
People enjoy watching those.
Well, I have to tell you, though, like in terms of if we were there with Sid's View, maybe we would have had something for them to look at. But a single cam shoot from that corner of the grandstands, which is a worse angle than what was on Rich's, the footage that we just shown, was not going to help anything. Yeah. Actually, it would have been a worse shot because they were driving away from the camera.
Yeah.
As opposed to that one where they were coming towards it. So I don't think that would have necessarily helped.
Yep.
In that, in terms of the call for the late model race.
You may have gotten like one usable frame out of that, if even that. And like you said, the angle really killed.
Can you imagine, though, real quick? I'm just thinking about this, right? Because Emma had got jingled up a little in that race, and I was a little distraught up there. And those guys were all up there at turn 1 and 2 watching.
Yeah.
So when they thought Brody, they had gotten down there.
They took off, yeah.
They took off and pulled out their phone and videoed that. Who the hell does that?
Yeah.
Right? They actually pulled their phone, stopped, and videoed the finish is crazy. It's almost like it was fixed.
Right. A smart play by them.
Smart play.
Yeah, it came in handy.
Smart play. It was great.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's keep going here. What do we got?
All right, so Nick Covey captured his first Speedbowl SK Light victory of the season. In the street stocks, defending champ Aaron Plemons won the event. Zach Martinez picked up the Legend Car win, and in the Crown Vic, Scott Sestudio picked up the victory. So,
listen, I'm very thankful for first studio. I like that song.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is thank you to Mr. Plemons for my. Can you hit the little noise, please?
This one.
You want to keep working here? Stay off the drugs.
That one?
No, that's not
I'm sorry.
I want to thanks Mr. Plemons for the Pick'ems win. Thank you. And congratulations to my boy Hovey.
all right, we're gonna move on to.
Jack, real quick.
Yo.
Crown Vics up from 3 to 5.
Hell yeah.
That's a pretty nice increase right there.
It'll be a great division. If they can get 15 to 20 of them son of a guns out there,
fun.
It'll be fun. Sid, why don't you build one?
Oh, I would be terrible at that.
You think so? Do you think you could do it?
I can barely get the freaking live stream going every week. You want me to do something with cars now?
That
Come
would be
on.
fantastic. Or Mr. Hahn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You and your college boys come down and rip a Crown Vic?
Yeah, I feel like before a mile's completed, I'd be on my lid, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, you
It
don't?
would be great. You and
You
your
haven't seen me
college
play
boys, that'd be
iRacing.
great.
No.
He can
All right.
animate a Crown Vic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a better shot at making a realistic 3D render of it than driving
All
it.
right.
All right, Jack. Go
All
ahead,
right,
buddy.
so now down at a speedway in a town in Massachusetts in Seekonk, Jacob Burns did double duty, winning the late model and his
Ooh,
first
I like that.
career pro stock win.
Yeah, impressive, man.
Very
Yo.
impressive.
The dude is nasty.
So the way they said it in the victory lane was the first time in 58 years that a driver has won in 2 different weekly point divisions, 2 different cars on the same day. 58 years.
Yo, listen, Rowdy Burns is no joke. He is no joke. He gets in a legend car. He runs well. And you don't want to hear the funny part about him? You guys probably don't know this, but his crew chief moved down south this year. The crew chief he's had in the past.
Yeah.
And Tim Potter, who helped build Emma's race truck that was Brody's championship truck and Charles Beal's current truck. That guy's name is Tim Potter. And he has taken over crew chief duties, I believe, for Rowdy Burns. And so it's a great, great day. I texted my boy Tim, and I'm like, dude, I'm so proud of you. So happy for you because, you know, you've been wanting to do this, and he's got a hell of a shoe in Rowdy Burns. And he probably could even screw up a little bit, and Rowdy Burns is still going to get it done. And he did. So congratulations to Tim Potter, and congratulations to Rowdy Burns on an awesome historic night at Seekonk Speedway.
For sure.
I do also have a little clip from the late model race. So here we go.
Into 1 and 2. Burns takes over the number 2 spot momentarily, but Gomes battles back on the outside.
Gomes ran well.
3 and 4 they go.
Yeah, this is a
Here
pretty
over the
sick
corner,
battle.
Gomes up top, still holds on to that number 2 spot at lap 14.
That battle is still hot and heavy down the backstretch. Charlie Rose looking in his rearview mirror, loves to see it. Burns and Gomes.
This is some really good racing.
Yeah,
man.
hot and heavy.
Yeah, this is
Down
excellent.
on the inside, but has been unable to take over that number 2 spot. Look at the run Gomes gets down.
It's a
the
really
outside,
cinematic
down
camera,
the
too.
backstretch. But
Man.
into 3. Burns gets a nose advantage off the corner down to the stripe. Jacob Burns now puts the 30 up.
It's
to
I mean,
the number
it's
2
just
spot.
nonstop.
Yeah, it's just
14
solid
down,
side-by-side
14 to
racing.
go. Charlie Rose smooth.
Yeah, good stuff.
And then he goes down and tracks down
Yeah.
Charlie Rose.
Yeah.
Solid.
Great night for those guys.
So, Corey Lambert won his first race of the season in the Sportsman, and then Ethan Hellborn, wins his first career truck race. So, shout out to him.
So I also have both features. I have some clips for them. So
All right.
let's
it up.
try the sportsman feature first.
All right, then.
They come off the corner. Green flag unfurls.
Oh, Petty started on the front row?
This
Oh,
was
so late race restart.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this Cody
2
Lambert.
laps to go.
This is the finish.
Oh, yeah.
Holding off the advances.
Serendinsky, all of them are in there.
Into 3 and 4, door to door off the turn 4 to the white flag.
That's the worst when the
Wow.
camera autofocus is out of focus.
Yep.
Sorry, just geeked out on you.
Look at
Look at
Yep.
Dude, they're just coupled together.
Here comes Lambert. Checkered flag is out as they roll off of 4.
Good stuff, man.
Wow, and he's drifted it off the corner. as
Before
well.
we leave tonight, we have to figure out when we're going up there on a Saturday.
That's what I was all about to say.
For
The
the
same
weekly
thing.
show.
It's got to
Yeah.
be a night the late models are off, and
Yeah.
they're off twice a
Right.
month.
Yeah, we can figure something
That'd
out.
be great,
Yeah.
man.
And then also we have the start of the truck race.
Oh, yeah, this got a little messy.
This was
It's a little messy.
rough.
Yep.
Oh wait, oops,
Oh.
my B. Sorry guys.
Oh, my B. My B.
Hold
Oh,
on.
oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, was that my
What
man
the
Radical
heck?
right there?
I'm so sorry.
Is that my man?
Oh, there's my man Duarte.
Watch this, though.
A little rough.
Oh Jesus!
Hiya!
Oh man!
Yeah, that's
Dude,
ugly.
that truck on the outside went straight in.
That is ugly.
Oh, and they are
trip.
steel wrecking.
Damn.
Yeah, that was
Sometimes when it's that bad, you make it 3 syllables. You say, that was ugly.
That was not good. That was not good.
All right, moving on to the Actor. Brandon Barker won the Coastal Clash 150, and in the Pass North Tour, Joey Dwarwin won the Supermodel.
Dwyron.
Dwarwin.
Mhm.
Won the Super Late Model 150 at Star.
Dude, who is Brandon Barker? I haven't heard of him on the Actor. Have you guys?
I've seen the name. Yeah.
Have you? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just not familiar enough. I mean, I like the glue chalkies.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know I said before we went on the air not to talk about the pick'ems early, but I just have to say when Jack made that pick last week, I almost made fun of him. Like, who's that guy? Who are you picking? Like, what
You
the hell are you
picked him?
doing? Yeah,
you picked him?
and he picked him.
I did.
Yeah,
That's a snipe, dude. Like that's just
Dude.
not. He got the script.
that's
I mean,
a little.
come on.
That's a little preview. We'll get back. We'll get back to
odd.
that.
That's real odd.
But to your point, I said the same thing. Like when he picked him, I'm like, who the hell is what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
did look, I'm
even
like-
when the act series put up, I mean, the videos that go up are impressive to watch. Renfrew was the top of the charts at one point, and he is a tough customer.
Brandon Barker finished, I heard second or third the week prior. That's why I picked him.
Oh,
He was
really?
running-
So
yeah, he was running.
Tapley says he runs pro stocks at Lee, used to run at Beach Ridge, run a couple races each of the past 2 years. See, this is why we do the pod.
Oh,
And
it's
we'll
great,
try to
man.
pay attention to these things so we can learn about new
Yeah.
drivers and everything. So it's all good.
Well, I know this. Jesse Switzer,
Yeah.
that dude.
We see his name a lot.
Dude, he is real good.
Yep.
And that whole series, I mean, even Connor McDougal, I know he finished 4th. So I try to follow these guys. The dude came from like 22nd or 23rd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cars in here that even Glue Chalky and them started deep in the pack. But, I know Tapley's race directs that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I know he's got his hands full and he's got guys like Renfrew and these guys tangling. Renfrew and them were going at it at the end when he got I forgot who turned him, but it seemed like kind of a racing deal. But he was going for his second win there at Star. I think that's more Renfrew's home track, and I only know of him because he races down south a lot. So I know he's a favorite. But yeah, great job, Tapley, and the whole ACT series, man. You guys are kicking ass, man. And great job.
Yeah. So in the Race of Champions modified series, Jack Ely won the 75 lapper at Chumong Speedrome. Austin Beers finished second, and Matt Hirschman finished third.
All right.
So Ryan Priest will be in action tomorrow night in Thompson for the Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series.
Oh yeah.
Are you excited?
RaceChoice.com
I am.
75.
Yeah, for sure.
Very excited.
How can I not be? He's running so good in Cup.
He finished 7th Sunday at Kansas. So
Are you guys going to interview him tomorrow? Are you going to try to get over there?
Yeah.
I want to
feel
put.
like it's a
I'm trying to
necessity.
beat him so I can put a car in his. GoPro
I mean, that-
in his car.
And that's a given. I mean,
Yeah.
we would be pretty bad at our job if Ryan Priest was there and we didn't
talk
try
to
to
him.
talk to him.
Yeah. No, I know. But
Yeah.
when I was down south and I seen Dale Earnhardt and they were just testing,
Right.
Ryan's got to be expecting. They almost have to set up. At the banks they set up those little ropes around.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for. He's so involved in what he does racing wise. It's hard for him to get. He has so much input.
I would like to think he's expecting me to come there with a GoPro.
Oh,
I can't remember the last time he raced a modified and I was there doing stuff that I didn't ask to put a camera on the car. So
Do you think there'll be a crowd around his area the whole day? Almost?
I would think so.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got to put the little fence up, the little thing around.
I remember when he first started down there and he was coming back and he was still driving the 31 when he could, a few times a year.
Yeah.
And it was one of those times early in the year where he came back. I don't know if it was a Loudon weekend or what, but he ran and it was like that. There was just people nonstop. And
Well, Tapley says he didn't see your application, your interview application yet. So I maybe you guys can't go interview him.
oh, yeah. Well, we'll see about that. Trust Tapley. Trust. There will be footage of him. Don't you worry.
Great, man.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, just to wrap up. So last week I had mentioned that the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour, they were trying to figure out when to reschedule the race that got washed out last weekend. So the Cheshire County Clash has been rescheduled to Sunday, July 20th at Monadnock. The USNE Power Duel at the Dog will take place the Saturday prior on July 19th. So back-to-back NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour
very
events.
nice.
At the dog. At the dog.
So
All
I
right.
love that track.
Let's take a little look-see, shall we? It's that time of year where I think we need to start paying attention to some point standings.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look-see at a few things we got here. First, we're going to hit you up with Thompson Speedway. Our friends over at Servbro helping us here with the little point standings update. So we got Pulio, Brian Tagg, Nick Hubby, Aaron Plemons. Andrew, say it, Rems. Krzeminski?
He's fast, too.
Yeah, he has
Andrew
been fast.
Krzeminski. He is fast.
Yeah.
Krzeminski?
I
Sure.
think he's Polish.
Yeah, probably.
It's about as good as the rest of us, Rem.
All right, we're gonna go over to Seekonk. Friends over at the Seekonk Grand Prix helping us out here. Dylan Estrella, Chase Belcher, Colby Lambert in the Sportsman, Mike Cavallero in the Sport Trucks. And then we're going to hit you up with our friends over at Critical Screen Printing.
Oh, yeah.
A little Speedbowl action. Flannery, Devin Deshays, Hovey again, Tyler Chapman in the trucks, Jordan Hadley with the early street stock lead over Aaron Plemons, RC3 down there in the mini stocks. And then I'll hit you up real quick here. The Wild and Wacky season will get started soon, but there's your Crown Vic and your Legend Cars Saturday divisions.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for them Super X boys.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, they always put on a good one.
And then one more time here, we got some regional point standings here from our friends over at the Mid-State Site Development there. Some of the Randy Bird. Look at the way they do the points there in the truck series there. That's crazy. 390 points.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so we'll update more as we go along. We'll keep looking at certain series and whatnot over the course of the season.
Now, why is the Pro Truck like that with the points? Did they like give out little mini point bonuses like laps led and stuff like that? Because otherwise, I feel like
No, I don't know. And
That's
I know
kinda strange,
so
right?
the one thing that I did hear, I don't know if it's true or not, but they all went to Loudon, and pretty much I think from third back or something, everybody got the same amount of points.
oh,
Yeah, for towing up. I don't know if that's true. I think that's what I heard, but we'll see. But
All right, Rems, are you ready?
Sure.
Are you sure you're sure?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Have a little sip there. And here we
Now
go.
I'm ready.
Are you
It's time
serious?
for the
Are you
Wydell
kidding me?
Communications Nostalgia Nugget of the week.
bravo.
Good job, guys. Better than rehearsal.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to need Remy's help again, wouldn't you know, because we have what they like to call a video daily double in the Jeopardy world. But listen, May 11th, 1991, we're talking, there was an absolutely wild thing that happened at the Waterford Speedbowl. If you were there, you remember that as being the night that Bob Potter flew out of the track coming out of turn 2
Oh, I remember.
in the SK modified race. So I'm not going to spend too much time yapping because Remy has the clip from our Speedbowl History Archives. Go ahead, Diego.
Was it in the 31?
It was in the Cerebello 31.
yes!
Yeah, well played. All right, go ahead, Srem.
43, they run
The
1,
great
2,
Joe
and
Golis?
3.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's some weird sound with this you're going to hear soon. It's get a little ringing and yeah.
Some heavy hitters
I already hear
stuck
the
in the
ringing.
back
Yeah.
of the pack, looking to make moves forward. We've got problems on the backstretch. We've got a car right out of the ballpark. Red
Right.
flag is
You
out.
can just hear the chaos
Oh,
like
yeah.
in the tower and everything. Yeah.
Could you imagine if that was a front stretch?
We've
Too?
got
Oh,
a car
dude,
out
seriously.
of the ballpark on the backstretch, ladies and
So-
gentlemen.
Can
It
you
appears
imagine
to
the
be
pain of
car
missing
number
that
31
shot?
of Bob Potter.
So there is, just let it keep playing, Rems, while I'm talking here.
Catapulted
So they
right out of the
basically you can see right there that the whole fence got torn down.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is, I believe, is Dominic Christador, who, by the way, was Don Collins' nephew, the great Don Collins' nephew, who filmed the races back then and had the foresight to go down there. So that's Potter's car, that Cerebello 31. That's basically like close to like where you stand, Jack, when we do Sid's View in the turn 2 area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Damn.
And I
Yeah,
think it was
imagine
Ed
that.
Reed Jr. in the Speedbowl documentary that said that he just walked by that spot and he was like behind where the scoreboard is when he heard the commotion and looked, and that car was basically where he just was. So as far as I know, nobody got hurt. When I talked to the late, great Bob Potter about it, when I interviewed him for the Speedbowl doc, and I was expecting him to give me some elaborate story of the crash, and he said, it was actually not that big of a deal from his point of view because the net. The fence was almost like a net, so when he landed, it was almost like a soft landing. It was not a big impact, which kind of surprised me. I wasn't. You can shut it down now, Rams. Yeah, I was surprised to hear that answer, but
can you imagine if that was a front stretch though, dude?
yeah, crazy.
Oh my God, man!
That would have been
It would have
nightmarish.
been disaster.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
It would have been a replay of Stafford, right? That happened at Stafford with
with
Cookman?
Corky Cookman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That is kind of funny that he was so nonchalant about it. I feel like I would be so shaken up after that to the point where I'd
Yeah.
But I'm no racer.
I mean,
there's a
Bob
reason.
Potter was a pretty cool character anyway.
Right.
So
Oh,
it
he
was-
was a
yeah,
cool
he
cat,
always kind of
man.
gives you a smooth answer,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
was a. So, anyways, that's one of those moments where if you were there, I'm sure you remember it. And it's the way I remember it. They had to obviously cancel. It was like the Timmy Jordan wreck. They had to cancel the rest of the night
Yeah,
because the
right.
fence was broke. They couldn't go on anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and one other thing, I think it was Dan Cordeweg who told, he was on the flag stand at the time and said like whatever the mechanism was broke all the way around the track.
right,
Like, and they could hear the ringing go around the track. It must have been unbelievable. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, you never know until something like that happens.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
How crappy. I mean, lucky nobody died when Jordan went over.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I think we've all said this, right? If they didn't redo the fence before that wreck, that would have been a whole different story.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
all right, let's keep it rolling, man. Our boy Rob is ready to roll down in the bullpen. Let's get going with today's stat chat.
All right, people, you know the drill. Got 3 banging questions for you on the Who's Your Tyree stat chat. Let's get it rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've seen a lot of debate about this on Twitter, Facebook, and presumably it's for no reason. You know how this starts. Someone pitches a question, that becomes controversial, and then everyone's responses to it becomes controversial. It just snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
All right, then.
What is the perfect feature length in terms of elapsed time for a headliner event? You know, not too short. You're like, what the hell happened? Not too long. We were checking the watch.
I give it 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
No, laps, guy.
Oh, laps.
Laps.
No, I said elapsed time.
Oh, you said time?
Elapsed time. Excuse me. I get the word lapse probably in there. So,
Man.
yeah.
40 minutes is tough. I mean, on the
It depends
headliner.
on the laps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 100
Yeah.
lap race. I mean, I'm expecting like an hour race.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But if it's a 25 lap race, it takes an hour. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. No,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If we're talking laps,
Right.
like if you said to me, Diego, how many laps should the SKs be running at the Speedbowl? Right? So how many does Stafford run?
40.
40 on a half mile. Now we're 3/8 mile.
Right. Well, that's why I didn't pitch it as laps. It's a little different timing.
Maybe 50. Right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what the SKs run currently at the Speedbowl. Is it 35 still?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think it's 35, right? So they run, but it's a different race though. Stafford is Stafford.
Right.
Waterford is what I call chew on the steering wheel for every freaking corner of every piece of that track.
Right.
It's a little more intense, I think. No, that's not to discredit what Stafford has going on because their division racing is great.
Right.
But
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I would say probably 50 myself for Waterford, 40 or 50 for the headliner
right.
division.
Yeah.
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 Usually, I feel like SK mod race takes about a half hour. A little longer, maybe, if they're really getting into it. But usually, it's about a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, I always do like a good, fairly extended length headliner event, especially if it's like a special night. I kind of like the best way that I usually put it is like I'm okay with a bunch of TV show support divisions, then you kind of want the movie at the end, right?
Right.
But the other problem with that is if it's running late already, people are trying to pack up and go, they're getting bored, and then they're just going to be pissed off the whole feature because they're tired and they want to leave. So I feel like it is a hard game of trying to ballpark approximately. Like, we want to give them something grand at the end, but we don't want to overstay the welcome.
I noticed one thing. It's also, such a hard thing because, when we go down to these Cars Tours events, they are 125 lap events.
Right.
And usually the drivers, for the most part, at least early on, are pretty good. And they throw these competition cautions
Right.
after 40 laps because it truly does start to become a snooze fest.
Right.
And then all hell breaks loose after that. You're like, oh my God, why did you throw the competition caution? Now you can't get the race started.
Right. Now we got 15 cars going off on the hook.
So I mean, as a fan, you want to see cautions, you want to see restarts, right?
Yeah.
It's like what you just said. You get pissed off because it's an hour for a 25 lapper.
Right.
But you're also pissed off if it takes 3 minutes and there's no action, they go green the checker.
100%.
Right? So what is the answer there?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you love to see action, you want to see restarts, you want to see passing.
Right.
Yeah. I'm still going to stick to 40 or 50 for the headliner. I don't know if that's what the answer you're looking for, but that's what I'm going to say.
No. I mean, because I personally love a good 100 lapper. I really do. I mean, I feel
that's
like
a lot, though.
Well, surely. I mean, if it's a weekly division, yeah, it's a lot. But like when the touring guys show up, like,
oh yeah,
I love a 100 lapper. It gives it time for the storyline to play out. You don't want it to be like, because if it goes caution free and it's a 50 lapper, that thing's over in 15.
Well,
minutes.
you'll see that especially tomorrow night.
Right.
Right, because these guys are pitting for tires.
Yeah.
It becomes a strategy game. What's so funny, Sid?
That's it.
Oh, you're losing it.
No, good.
Yeah, so you'll see a strategy tomorrow. You'll see, what do they run, 125 tomorrow, right? Is that right? And so you're going to see, is it 100?
What are you talking about, the Monaco race?
Yeah.
75.
Oh, 75.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think they'll still pit for tires at 75.
Right.
I don't know. A guy like Matt Hirschman, he might sandbag the whole damn night.
Right.
And wait for them to pit, and then he'll just kind of mosey his way to 5th, and then, then you got to pass him, which is going to be very difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because the main reason I'm asking this, I mean, the original way it was pitched on social media is, are the longer length events like sort of pushing people away? Like, would you maybe leave earlier or not even come because it's an extended length event? I don't.
Way.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
Wow. I mean, I think the name of the series or that racing or the extra distance, I think, is enough to get people in the seats.
They're not leaving for the headliner.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right.
They're not leaving for, I don't care if it's 200 laps. They know that when they show up, they're not leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? They're not leaving, that's for sure. So.
All right. Well, I got 2 more in the bag for you. If someone is parked or black flagged for a mechanical issue, let's say they lose a couple laps to come back out on the racetrack after. If it turns out they don't have that issue, right? Parked for a leak, something like that, they come back out. What do you do with the laps that they lost? I mean, where are you going to place them after the fact?
I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't do anything.
You really can't.
You can't give them. I mean, you can't give them the laps back.
But it's such a legitimate problem, though. I mean, it is.
Sure.
I mean, it's back to human judgment again, right?
Right.
Sid, come on, let's go. You got to come down here. Shoot, nothing. No.
Oh, green flag's out.
No, sorry, you're down 2 or 3 laps.
Whoopsie.
Now, I'm sorry, we messed up.
Yeah.
Right? That really sucks because you bought tires, you bought fuel, you paid for people's way in. You're $1,000 into the night.
Right.
Right? Hold on. But who's going to give me back my money?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no good answer to that. And obviously, this happened to Ternullo a couple weeks ago at the bowl, but
Yep.
And he has a legitimate beef to be pissed about it.
Yep.
But giving him his lap backs is not, that's not how you rectify the situation.
Definitely not how
can't
you
do that.
rectify. But I mean, it might be a great question to ask Tapley here. I mean, do you throw a caution? I mean, it's not just about the Speedbowl function because it's not let's roast the Speedbowl here.
No.
Because things happen, right?
Right.
I mean, this very well could happen at Stafford this week.
Anywhere.
Right? Call Verricchio and you're leaking. They come down down pit road. I'm like,
100%.
oh my God, Verricchio, you're not leaking. You can get back out. Right? I mean, how do you handle that?
Right. Well, especially because we were just talking about electronic scoring. I mean, how do you easily just give them the lap back? I mean, can you just go in and change it? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's awful. You can't. I guess if somebody's dropping fluid, you have to drop the caution then, right? Or if somebody's dropping, the caution has to drop. I would think, right?
And Tapley gave the perfect answer. Every situation's different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
But if somebody's leaking and you're bringing them down pit road, they must be leaking on the track.
right.
Right. So we better just throw the caution just to be on the safe side. If somebody's calling somebody leaking, right? I don't know the correct answer to that, but it hurts. It could possibly hurt somebody that's spent a lot of money that day.
Right.
You just killed their night on a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole different question because, like, they're getting the black flag, right? And there's a lot of reasons you throw the black flag on somebody and you got to pull them in that really doesn't warrant a caution.
Right.
I mean, if they have sheet metal hanging off, or if they are rough driving, you call them in. I mean, you're not throwing the caution for that.
Right. I mean, but a leak is a different. I don't know. It's a legitimate problem that each race director has to handle differently. And you know, if you're leading the race and they throw a caution and nobody's leaking, the leader's pissed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You know, you're gonna lose somewhere. So,
I mean, maybe you just you don't want to hold the show too much because some people start getting mad. But like, if you're throwing the caution for a leak, I mean, do you just not throw the green back out until they're back out onto the track because they're not counting caution laps at most short tracks?
Right.
I mean,
but you know, they're always trying to move the show
along.
And
that's the other thing.
Yeah.
The priority is moving the show along because otherwise people start leaving.
For sure.
All right, here's my last one for you. This one's a real banger. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It really sets the tone.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do if your division has an extended length race, 50, 75, 100 laps, and half a dozen cars show up?
Oh, my God.
I mean, you've advertised the whole thing under this flagship event, and then you get 6 cars. What do you do?
See, I'm a big fan of, and I don't think anybody does this, but I'm a big fan of you modify the lap count to the car count.
I've always been a huge fan of that.
So if it's
but this was part of the pop culture last. I mean, the pop culture. What is it called? Yeah,
popcorn stat chat.
Popcorn stat chat. I was getting a little.
We've only been doing this a year and a half. Yeah, welcome to the show.
But anyways, you remember a couple weeks ago? Was it last week or the week before? You said, "Hey, would you rather have 10 cars with 5 guys that could win?"
Yeah, smaller field but more competitive cars.
All of a sudden,
versa.
You guys are like, "Yeah, let's do that." So now you're asking the same question. You got 8 cars. 5 of them can win.
Well,
you don't want to watch 50?
I like the bigger field. I do.
Me too.
But, I mean, like, are people really going to see that product? Like, let's say that you go to Thompson or something like that, and it's a 50, 75 lapper, right? And you have 6, 7.
Well, they had that issue last year with the
604s.
No, well, yeah, right.
Right.
Or even before that,
the open cars.
The open ones,
I mean,
before they changed it to the 604s.
Right.
And they were 50-lap races, and there was like 6 cars.
Right. And like, you want to give, especially the drivers, like what they promise. But is that a product that is going to compel people to come back?
Do you still pay the extra distance purse?
Well, that I feel like you have to.
Right. You advertise it. You gear up for it.
You have to. Because the only reason those people are there in a lot of cases is because of that.
Right. Is it Rob Hahn's fault that nobody showed up and now you can't get paid what you were advertised to get paid? I mean, there's so many questions here. I don't think so. Myself personally, if you have a 50, 75 lapper and you have 6 cars show up, I'm sorry, guys, but we have to cut laps because it still has to stay entertaining. Right. I mean, how do you expect people to watch 75 laps with 6 cars?
Right.
You just can't.
I think I like where Sid's view, unintended, is
nice.
coming from. You like that?
Good job by you.
I think if you have 6, it's a 75 lap event. You have 6 cars. You give them 6 laps and you pay them in full.
6 laps?
They're going balls to the wall, dude. Because
I'd be down for 6 lapper.
6 laps?
6 lapper full
you can't
purse.
go that
Shit,
short.
I'm driving in the water, cleaning out the field.
That's what I'm saying. or like if you go like, I don't know, like, it's a 75 lap race. You have 10
I mean,
cars.
I'm thinking cut 50 to
You go-
30,
yeah.
50
Yeah.
to 25.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
You
no,
know-
I'd cut it more than that. No,
I know
honestly.
you got to give them a regular feature. I mean, they
Well,
showed up.
All right, I mean, if it's a 75 lapper and 6 cars show up, right? I mean, I'm cutting it to 20.
20?
Yeah.
Nah, I'd
15.
cut it
No,
to
but
like
full
30.
purse.
Yeah,
Full
30.
purse.
You got to,
30.
I mean, it's
Come
either
on,
here or
Fro.
there, but still. Would you
Yeah.
pay the full purse, though?
Well, yeah, you have to.
You absolutely have to.
I think you have to
And
pay the
it's
full
not
purse.
even.
You
It's
got
not. It's not like you got to remember that there's only 6 cars, so you're only paying the purse for 6 positions.
Right.
So
Right.
it's-
Yeah.
you
I
have
mean,
to
if
pay
you
the
don't,
full
that's a
purse.
good way to get all the drivers to hate your track.
Yeah, true
Right.
story.
Right. Yeah. You can attest. All right. Well, that's a stat chat, everybody.
All right, then. Tremendously done, as always. Let's do a little trivia, shall we, Rem? What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right, then. Let's get it up. All right, huge thanks to our friends over there at the Mid-State Site Development. Great supporters of the show. So, Monadnock's holding back-to-back days where they're going to have a tour race now. So I did a little deep dive. The last time that I found NASCAR Modifieds held events on back-to-back days was 1999, Friday, July 16th at Nazareth. which is in Pennsylvania, and Saturday, July 17th at Holland, which is in upstate New York. For what it's worth, 5 days after that, they had a race at Thompson. So that was 3 events in 7 days, 26 years ago.
Wow.
So I just went diving a little farther there. A couple another statistical nuggets here for you. 96, they ran back-to-back events at Loudon. And then 87, they went in late September, Tioga Speedway, which is in New York, and then Thompson. And then in 85, which was the first year of the tour, they had back-to-back races at Holland Speedway. And then later in the year, they had back-to-back races, Tioga, and then that's in New York, and then Oxford Plains, which is in Maine.
Yeah.
And then I saw some other crazy stuff. I won't give all the dates, but in 89, they had 3 races in 8 days once. 88, they had 3 races in 7 days. 1985, again, the first season. How about this? The 14th of July at Claremont. That's a Sunday. Tuesday, the 15th at Stafford. Sunday, the 21st at Thompson. And then July 23rd at New Egypt. That's 4 races in 10 days. And all these are a really long time ago, 30, 40 years ago. So it's definitely rare. It has been done before, but nothing like this has been done in about 26 years. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, all right, let's keep it moving. Diego, get yourself fired up, my friend, because we know how much you love this segment. Let's giddy up.
I love that graphic. All right, I
He's
want to
already
thank,
fired up.
hell yeah, man. I want to thank Ed Marcel, Firewood and Land Clearing for this segment of viewer mail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you guys ready? This is from our friend Jake Sylvia.
Okay.
This is great. Little legend guy. I think his father drives a sportsman up at Seekonk.
Ooh, I like that.
I know you do, Fro.
Oh, yes.
All right, so you guys ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
After listening back on a few of the deep dives with different drivers, I heard a few of them talk about the racing surface at Waterford and how it isn't what it used to be, especially in the SKs. So my question for you guys is this. When do you think it is time for a repave for a track? As a racer, I've always wanted the older surface instead of a fresh surface, but eventually I do think a change is necessary. What do you guys think?
Well, I think the Speedbowl is definitely due for it. So just a little history here. The Speedbowl was originally opened as a crushed gray stone track.
Yep.
Lasted for 3 weeks in 1951, then they paved it. That original pavement was, they actually had a sand strip on the outer side. They would pave that, but that original main strip was patchworked all the way up until the late 80s, so 57 years. 37 years until the Quarterwakes paved it before the prior to the 88 season.
Yeah.
And we are now exactly that same amount, 37 years. So I do like that he said liking the old pavement.
Right.
One of the neatest stats that I came across when I was doing the Speedbowl thing is that we all know me and Diego know Flying Brian
Of
McCarthy.
course.
I don't know about these guys, but legendary late model guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fishtailing through the turns, slideways all the time.
Yes.
Never won a race at the Speedbowl after they paved it in 88.
Right.
So his style was completely did well under those old, he had that old pavement down pat.
Yes.
100%. And I mean, drivers love, I'm not going to throw a blanket on all drivers, but drivers generally, they love the old pavement. I mean, when it gets character, there's more room for mistakes. People bobble, you got more passing zones, and then, you repave it. You got more on throttle time, right? There's just less passing zones. But there is a point, which has happened with a lot of tracks, Atlanta is the obvious national example you can use, where it goes from old and with character to a little bit decrepit, where it starts, hurting the overall product. And I feel like the Speedbowl might have slid into that category recently.
Well, what hurt the Speedbowl was it did not open in 2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the pandemic hit. And
Things happened after that.
And then it didn't open. And so it was basically closed outside of like a few practice sessions. It was closed from like the beginning of November in 2018 until the middle of August in 2020. That's almost 2 full years.
Right.
Isn't that amazing how something like that could have greatly affected the track?
Yeah.
Right?
It's never been the same. It's never been the same since.
It's never been the same. Something happened.
Well, you would think just the weathering of it, right?
Yeah.
Probably washed away whatever rubber was on there, was completely gone.
Yep.
And then just the weathering of it made the cracks bigger. And it's pavement. I mean, you know what I mean?
I've you go down south, and because my nephew runs down there, you see a lot of tracks that don't have a lot of grip.
Oh, yeah.
And so you go to a track like Hickory, for example. I know Brody it's not one of his favorite places, but the Cars Tour is going this year, and they have a 50,000 to win and a 30,000 to win Cars Tour event. And they chose Hickory Motor Speedway because that's the mecca of where it all started.
Right.
If you look in the infield, it's freshly paved. It's beautiful. The racing track itself is awful.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
It's
practically.
awful to me, but they left it nostalgic like that. They paved everything else, but not the racetrack, and left it. Like I told you before, there's concrete diamonds in it where there's patches, and now drivers use that as markers on where they're at on the track.
They like it.
And
I bet you if you compared the Speedbowl to a bunch of tracks around the country, it would probably be the better track.
It would be the better track.
Yeah.
Compared to what we've seen down there at a few of them, but you also have your nice share. But, then again, you look at it. I mean, I know paving is expensive. Asphalt is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But this is, if Bruce didn't care, and I'm just talking about the Speedbowl because that's what Jake, that's what he was referring to. But Seekonk did a great thing by paving the corners.
That's what a lot of people are saying. The
Right.
Speedbowl should do.
So
Just
you
the corners.
just cut the corners up.
Yep. Not even maybe the full corner. Just a couple
Let's
lanes.
see what happens, right? I mean, and I'm sure, B&W Paving has done a lot down at the Speedbowl. The Chapman family, Keith and Jim Ray, those guys have always stepped it up to help the Waterford Speedbowl because they love the place. A guy like Keith Chapman, who is Tyler's father, he's been going to the Speedbowl his whole life and just loves the place and always has done whatever he can to help. And I don't think it would take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people absolutely love the Waterford Speedbowl. They would donate their time or donate their materials or very little cost to make it happen.
There would be ways where you can minimize the cost.
All they would want is a thank you.
There's a lot of pavers in racing.
That would really love to help. So, it's up to them. I know it's mainly into
it's a
Bruce.
big capital improvement. I could see
is.
why it's
Right.
right. So
It would be great, though. What a
would be
nice
awesome.
curveball to
Be
throw
awesome.
down at the bowl.
Yeah.
Right. If you just paved the bottom 1 or 2 lanes, that would be insane,
Did
man.
I ever tell you guys how much I love the Speedbowl, though? I do. I love the Speedbowl, but I get so passionate about the place because I grew up there. I mean, I love the place so
It's tough
much.
love. It's tough love.
It's tough love.
I love the Speedbowl too. I've been going there my whole life.
I love the. I mean,
Right.
listen. I love Stafford Speedway. This is a shirt Mr. Root gave me last time he was on.
It's a nice one.
It's a cool ass T-shirt. But Waterford's my home, and I'm just so very passionate about it. Me, my brother, our family in general. I just want to see it be back to what it was. So.
all right,
do something about
Diego. Before you get to the next question, don't you think we should do something?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, you should probably tell them.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
Come on, everybody. Join me in this whole segment that we do. I mean, there was a lot of stuff happening at the Speedbowl last week and all over. Send your questions to sidsviewpodcast@gmail.com. I read them all the time. So doesn't all these members. And I want to see some good ones. I mean, there's a lot of controversy going on. I would love to hear some people's input. And if you want to remain anonymous, right, Fro?
Yeah,
Just
tell
say
us.
it.
Tell us.
Just say it.
We don't care.
I'm looking forward. I like controversy.
Right.
I'm ready to do it.
Little redactions here and
You
there.
guys ready for the next one?
Well,
Absolutely.
let's start the insanity.
Oh, you were
Sid-
on the button with that one, Sid. Come
is
on, he
out
was
of control.
crying.
All right, are you guys ready?
Ready.
This is a very valid point. This is from a good friend of mine who watches what I eat. He tells me, Diego, you shouldn't be eating that. But he's a good guy. His name is Norm Root, and his son runs the number 80.
Mm-hmm.
Norm Root says, and this is a very valid question because this is a division that's hurting right now. Do you think Going back to Monte Carlo bodies would bring competitors back to the Speedbowl. Maybe even have more Super X cars move up as well to bring the cost down in the division. Now, there obviously has to be something done here.
100%.
Right? It has.
It's getting really bad.
And people aren't showing up because of you can't run an open motor, which has been going on. Thompson allows that. And then these new body, I mean, they're $5,000. I think we discussed that last week.
Yep.
It's $5,000 to put a body on your car.
That's what they're saying. Why not run an SK Light at that point? Right?
The Johnny Porters are going to be gone before you know it.
Right.
But isn't the Monte Carlo kind of like with the Ford Mustang issue with the mini stocks? Like, how many of those cars are still out there to make street stocks out of?
The Buick Regal.
But, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. There's people, we used to bend our own bodies, right? If you had a brake and some sheet metal, you could bend your own body.
But that's not a Monte Carlo then.
Well, it's a Monte. It looks just like a Monte Carlo, right? You could.
So
do
it's a fakakta one.
It's whatever.
Well, I mean, a lot of people race those though.
I mean, it's a pasta and meatballs.
Yeah,
you know what
right,
I mean?
Yeah, right on.
But Norm Root is absolutely right. Like, I don't think it's about the body. I mean, it is about the bodies, but what needs to be done here?
Well, it's hard because we've allowed, as this division has evolved, you kind of allow the ceiling on this box that the drivers are in, right? Drivers and teams just get higher and higher and higher. I mean, if you want, the Super X type cars to come and race again, you have to figure out a way to knock that ceiling way back down. And it's hard to do when you've let it go on for so long. I mean, the guys have put all the money in. Like, are you just going to give them the middle finger now? It's hard.
You know what that division has turned into, and I'm bringing it up one more time, is exactly what we talked about last week, right? There's 8 cars. There's more late models than there are street stocks now, right? And the street stocks that are there, of the 8, 4, I'm going to say 4 can win.
Yep.
Right? And Ike Chima and them, who is awesome and has improved greatly, has got a top 5, I think, last week.
Yeah.
But, that guy could be, when we back had 16, 17 car fields, the top 5 means a hell of a lot more then.
Oh, yeah.
Than when you got 8 cars and finished 5th.
Right.
And Ike Chima has improved greatly. Yeah. His lap times, I look at his lap times, I'm just using him as an example, has done tremendous. Every year he steps it up. I know the Root family and them all help, but you're missing Ed Gersh. You're missing, a few of the other. Gaedeke is gone. Right. Like, there's nobody coming up to replace him. And I think the cost of the division, it's pretty much a limited late model now.
It is. It absolutely is. I mean, you can go and run basically the exact same car at Stafford. It's a limited late.
Right.
I'm hopeful that they will get cars because they got the 50 lapper coming up on Saturday. I think we all would hope that they get more cars, but I think if they don't, that's very, very telling.
Yeah, that's exactly what we just talked about in the stat
I
chat,
think,
too.
almost every car there is essentially a tube chassis car now, and that's just the way it's going. Those frames are getting out of whack. I think the tube chassis cars run better. And, I don't know if everybody's in, you get to this break and went, okay, am I going to invest $15,000 or $20,000 this winter? And that's like doing stuff used, maybe put the front clip on, buy all the front parts.
Right.
Who has that? Right? When you walk around in the pit area, almost everybody in there is business owners, just about. Right? There's a lot of, it's hard to be a 9-to-5 guy and do that, even at that level. I mean, it takes a large financial commitment.
What's the cost difference between the street stocks as they are now and like your late model? Is it comparable at this point?
I'm selling my late model. I tried to sell my late model cheaper than what guys were asking for their street stocks.
Damn. Yeah, see, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's just not.
And that happened all winter. There was street stocks they wanted $18,000 for, $20,000. I was trying to get 15 for my late model. Didn't even get a nibble.
Sadly, I think it's a reflection of the turnover. Like, I think, people are mentioning the rule book, and that's part of it. Is the turnover in who's in charge of the competition has continued every couple of years. There's new hands in the rule book.
Right.
They're all trying to make an adjustment for the better, and then this is the result. So like I don't even like Brad is just like the latest one here. Now, if he's there for 8 years and cleans a lot of stuff up, that's great.
Right.
But if it doesn't work out and he's gone in the middle of next season or this season, then it's the same old thing. And that's what's really, I think, contributing to the problem.
Yeah, and that's a great point because it's going to be a long-term fix. It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
going to be like end of this season, you go, all right, the rule book's completely changed for 2026. It's not going to happen. It's going to be gradual.
Yeah.
And again, like
Yeah.
you just said, if you throw out the guy behind it, it's going to just start over again.
I can tell you this. If you had a motor and you went to a car builder and said, hey, listen, I want you to build me a tube car that I can go run a street stock against these guys with, you're going to spend $50,000. $40,000.
50?
40. Turnkey, 60. 50. Betcha. Motor, some guys are getting that. Maybe 50, right? That's soup to nuts. That's car, everything in it, cage, body mounted, done rolling. Who can? That's what it has turned into.
Because in my mind, like I think of like the identity and the spirit of that series, and I hear that number, and like to me, that's just not what it's supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be
it's
that.
Really not.
And Chris Meyer is one to bring it up a lot because he was a diehard Speedbowl guy,
right?
And he had said, listen, the rules change so much there.
Yeah.
It's like you do one thing one year. All right, we spent $4,000 or $3,000. Then the next year, hey, they take it away. So holy cow, I just spent $3,000 last year to do that.
Yeah.
And now everybody's mad. So now you're not going to allow that anymore. Like, hold on, what's going on here, right? And sooner or later, you get pissed off and say, okay, that's it. I'm done doing this.
Yeah. Right.
Right. And I'm not sure if that has happened here, but I don't know, man. Norm Root brings up a valid point about the cars. So, I mean, I don't know. That's about it. I had one more, and this is going to be a great one because the mole. You know who the mole is? High roller molar.
No, the high roller.
Yes, the high roller.
The mole.
The mole. And so, last week when JP was here, he is a funny guy.
Oh, he had
So
some
can
good
we
questions.
just real quick, because I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. So last week when we had JP in the house, the most watched episode of the Sid's View podcast so far this year, and the second most watched ever,
Right.
and the only one that has more views is the High Roller, Andrew Moeller.
And they're like best
And they're
buddies.
boys, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
They're the young guns right now.
I text JP that stat. He said that he would have that. He'd have that beat his number beat by Friday. But listen, the polling closes once we start the new show. The numbers are locked in.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But go ahead. Dan.
All right, cool. Here's the last one, and this one is really for drivers, but I thought it was a great question for everybody here in the podcast. Seeing that Sid's old as dirt.
What's
and
your
Fro,
record for consecutive questions asked?
and Fro is a young one, and all you guys here. So anyway, where do you see yourself as a person 10 years from now in racing? Are you involved? Do you think? Are you out, Jack?
So I was thinking about this when you mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Given my profession that I'm going in and my career path, that it's not looking like I'll be making a ton of money teaching. I'm hoping that like I can stay in it as a side hustle or like a side gig, just for the extra cash. But I mean, I've never.
Oh, it's all about the money for you? Come on, bro. That's the wrong answer,
Bro, I don't do it. I don't do any of this for the money. I really don't. But,
Bro, you're
Listen, I got a good answer for
You're
it.
in deep.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a lifer at this point. I'm ride or die. I mean, I will watch the sport until it is just a CCTV camera in someone's backyard and nothing else. I have really enjoyed the last few years coming into different roles. We're doing stuff up at Stafford. Here on the podcast, we do Monaco, Sid's View.
It's been
all over
awesome.
the place. It really has.
Yes,
yeah. To rebound off Rob, like the past, I would say 6 months of all this has kind of really blown up.
Oh, and rejuvenated you a little bit.
Not that.
He came back to life.
Got the juices flowing? Is that what you're
I
saying?
always have the juices flowing, but like, I don't know. I've seen what this can become if I keep going at it, and so I kind of want to.
I'm sure this guy here, he'll be waiting for Social Security here.
Right.
Why stop? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
But yeah,
go
That's
ahead.
messed up, dude. I'm not that close to
Right.
it.
No, I know.
Go ahead, Rob.
But yeah, I definitely feel like I am reaching a point where I can now make an impact. Obviously, as we've talked about a couple of times throughout the podcast, racing is definitely in a transitionary period right now. I love the sport. I love covering it. I mean, I would absolutely adore to keep going on with this and doing whatever I can to get people's eyes on it, reel in more people. I mean, I truly do love from the bottom of my heart the sensory experience, the people, everything about it.
Yeah.
I feel the need to do what I can to keep that going to people.
I
for
think
as long
that's
as I
called
can.
passion.
Yes.
Right.
And it's a flowing.
When
it comes to the cars going in circles, dude, you can't pull me away.
I could tell in our group chats how excited you get. I know you love it.
I do.
Oh, hell yeah. What about you, Sydney?
And what about that Social Security?
That's it. So I get that first check, I'm out. Peace out. No.
Yeah, man.
I mean, at this point, I don't, there's some, like we were talking, like right now, today, like I'm exhausted. Like I wish I could have like a week off. We got to go shoot Monaco tomorrow. Now I'm amped up to do it, and we're going to kick ass when we go there. So it's like, it's always,
hold on.
Yeah.
You do it to yourself, though.
Yeah,
because it's the desire.
Yeah,
right.
because I love it.
That's what I'm
100%.
saying.
He loves it.
100%. And there's many a time where, like even like today, I come down here and set up for the podcast, and I'm like, yeah, this is better than a real job for sure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
so, I mean, I've always done it for the people, as you guys know, and we've talked about in this pod, I know nothing about race cars. I could never build one. I couldn't even drive it into the trailer without probably taking the trailer out.
Right,
so,
right.
It's all about the people, and obviously now the video work and a lot of relationships I built. So, I mean, yeah, we talked about it earlier about what's the goal for this year is to keep growing. So just, see where it takes the one thing in my position, because it involves technology, is you can't look too far ahead. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
you always have to be learning and new
100%.
things, dude.
Right.
Very challenging.
Like when I started this, like Facebook was new. There was no such, I don't even know if social media was a term. There's no such thing as Reels.
Right.
I don't even know if the GoPros had come out yet. Like, and here we are 15 years later, and everything is completely different. So you can only really plan for so much, because in 15 years, if I'm still doing this, none of these cameras we're using, none of this equipment, we're not going to be using any of this equipment we're using today. So it's just going to keep changing.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah, I don't plan on going anywhere soon.
Let's go, Rem, because we haven't heard from you much today. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, why do you do it?
Why do I do it? Listen, I have so much fun. Like, I always say, my day off is still Friday or whenever I'm shooting for Monaco with Sid, because I have so much fun doing it.
That's what she said.
Sorry, I can't.
Sid, you can't do that shit, man. I mean, she was on a heartfelt moment.
Sorry.
You dropped that.
I'm just saying.
Sorry,
Like,
Rob.
I have a real fun time just hanging out with everyone, meeting new people. Like, I'm surprised my friends at home don't get bored of me just talking about racing at this point. So I'm just having a fun time and take the win as it goes. Kind of thing.
You're saying that you're just going to keep it moving then.
Yeah, just see what happens.
Awesome.
Play it
10
day
years
by
from
day,
now,
you
Remy's
know?
going to send me a text going to say,
Am I going to be the one doing this?
yeah.
So you got a problem. You got a problem.
All right,
Soundboard edition.
let's carry on then, shall we? All right.
Are we not going to ask Diego?
Oh, yeah. Diego, go ahead. Sorry.
What do you
buddy.
want to ask? Oh,
He was the moderator. He was the moderator.
I am the moderator. It was a
but
great.
like, what?
Listen, I have so many dreams, and this is going to sound a little tacky, maybe, but spending time with my people that I love, doing what I love, is as long as I can continue to keep doing what we do, racing with my kids and family. Because really, it's about hanging out with them and doing a lot of fun stuff.
Absolutely.
And I want to continue to do that and build memories with my family, whether we win or lose or fight or argue. I love the sport so much. My business is built around it.
Yeah, same here.
My afterlife, like doing the podcast, is around racing. People come into my shop and talk racing, and then we go to the racetrack with Emma, and I'm like in her butt about, let's go, Emma, we can do this. I mean, my whole life revolves around racing, and I try to bring my whole family in. So I can't see that changing. I've been doing it for 30 years with my brother.
Yep.
I don't see anything changing. I'm going to be one of those old guys that's a car owner, maybe with a grandkid or something. Be like, let's go, Sonny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Can I get a hell yeah for that?
Can I get a hell yeah?
Oh.
All right.
Maybe we can get sponsored by AARP in a couple years. Keep it going,
All
Diego.
right. That's enough, Sid.
Viewer mail brought to you by Diego
Oh, yeah.
and
Hey,
AARP.
listen, thanks for the mail, people. Ed Marcel, Firewood, and Land Clearing. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, there's a chance that somebody could be unsufferable in this next segment, but I'm not sure yet. Why don't we just have a look-see, shall we?
Well. Would you look at that?
Hey, listen,
Here he goes.
What the?
Would you look at that?
dude, they name a bar. There was a bar in New London.
That's a
named
lot of
after-
green.
No,
Lot
there
of
was
green,
a bar
guy.
in New London named after him. You know what it was called?
What was it called?
Mr. Lucky's.
That's
No,
right.
no, Mr. Pixton.
The
Thank you,
Good
sir.
job.
Brandon
Thank you.
Barker pick is just.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
seriously.
like-
How
true.
the hell did
He's
that
like,
even happen?
Brandon Barker. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
You know him
ran?
now, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Chirps.
take it easy.
Yeah,
Take it easy,
easy.
Mr. Pixton.
All right, buddy. Since you are, yapping over there, why don't you give us your picks?
All right. Where do you want me to start, Sydney?
Just go right down the list, guy.
Yeah.
All right. So the touring series, Wheel and Modified, or the not Wheel and Modified, the Tri-Track series. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ryan Priest.
Mm-hmm.
The Thompson 604s, Todd Owen.
It's a good pick.
Seekonk Sportsman, Adam Petty.
Mm-hmm.
The Stafford Limited Late Models, Travis Hydar.
Ooh.
And then, whoa,
The hell is
that? What was that?
Well, this isn't the pre-show, bro.
And then,
welcome.
Jinx.
Dude, that was harmonious. That was almost better than the nostalgia nugget.
All right. Settle in.
all right, and then for the Water Bowl, the mini stocks, David.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Dude, seriously?
The water bowl?
Sorry.
Come on, bro.
I'm tired,
I
dude.
thought that was intentional.
Listen.
Dude, was that intentional?
No,
Seriously.
I'm tired.
No,
as
you
hell.
should have played
I'm
that
sorry.
one off.
What the hell is going on here?
What is happening?
So,
Okay.
So disappointing.
At the,
I mean, we made a change and the same things are happening.
God,
I don't understand.
the water bowl. Wow.
Okay, this is my first one. How many? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. At the Speedbowl for the mini stocks, David Dwar.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Rems,
What?
you sucked last week, so you're next.
What? That's not how that works.
Don't get her going again, Sid.
No, I'm just
If
kidding.
you want me to go, I'll go.
No.
I don't
What do we
care.
got to do? I know I keep screwing this order up.
Yeah, you do.
It goes to Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want me to go then, right? Okay, so I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mhm.
This is an easy pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
Thompson Speedway,
Mm-hmm.
SK Light, Nicholas Hovey. Hey, holla. Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one. You guys are going to be surprised about this one.
Okay.
Stafford Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back-to-back winners. John Pulio.
Ooh.
Wow. That's interesting.
Okay.
I do kind of like the pick, though.
Oh, you want to talk about Seekonk Speedway? We'll talk about Seekonk. I'm very happy. I'm very happy for my boy Tim Potter, crew chief in Jacob Burns,
Mm-hmm.
and that cat's going back to back.
Already.
Interesting.
So Jacob Burns, I know you're in the chat. You better put the pedal to the metal, brother. All right. Next one.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Waterford Speedbowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the mini stocks. It was a little off last week, but I'm taking the Mighty 83 of Chris Garside. Are they
Interesting.
racing this week?
I can't tell you that.
Oh my God, I didn't look.
I mean, the pick's out of your mouth now, guys.
Yeah, that's it. You locked in.
Did I? Oh my God.
Are you talking about Garside or the division?
The division.
Oh no, because they were off this week.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
that's
you're
what I
good.
thought.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, the touring series. I'm going tomorrow night's tri-track race. This guy's due for a win. I really believe it, and this is his home track. Jake Johnson. Taking down the W for the almighty tri-track series. Lock him in, Sid.
All right, I'll lock that in for you, guy.
Thank
no
you,
problem.
sir.
All right. I'm up now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're third?
Yeah. Right in the middle, guy.
Diego, that was
so exciting. I like it when Sid loses.
He's looking manic
Oh,
over
it
here,
gets me
Diego.
so excited 'cause I hate listening to his freaking chirping.
I did just as good as you this past
I
week.
don't care. I'm still beating you. It makes me so happy to know that I'm beating.
All right.
Last year I had this goal with Rob. I'm so sick.
No, I'm rooting for you, Diego.
Thank you,
You're
thank
one of
you,
the
thank you.
losers club, and you're getting it done this year. I like it.
Come on, Sydney. Let's
As
see
I
what you
told,
got.
I'm going to share this with the viewers now because we talked about this before we went on the air, but you're the equivalent of when the Pittsburgh Pirates start 13-4,
Dude,
and they
stop.
think they're going to have a good year,
Oh, here we go.
and they never do.
Here we go. Jeez.
All right, hubby,
Hold on.
yeah,
Rowdy Burns for the late model. Keeter didn't. I didn't make that clear.
oh yeah,
I just wanted to be clear. I wrote it on my paper just so you know. Sorry
right.
to interrupt you.
all right. I'm going hubby, Thompson, SK Lights.
Chalk.
Okay.
I know. After you just picked it.
Well, no, you're copying me.
Well, I'm going to take that piece of chalk and write him in for the Stafford SK Lights as well.
Oh,
How do you like that?
Hell yeah! Hubby got a double whammy.
And I'm going Petty, Streeters. I'm going with my man Chuck, Charles Beal, Trucks.
Great pick.
At
I
the
think he's
bowl.
going to win this week too.
And I was tempted to go with Priest too. I'm going with my man John McKennedy, the 79.
I erased him off my paper.
Yeah.
It was either him or Jake Johnson. I swear. Good
Well,
pick.
Yep. Better than yours.
I hope
All
Jake
right.
wins. Who's next?
Robert's
I
in
believe
the
it's
house. Yeah.
Robert.
Yep.
What a
Alrighty.
name.
Here we go. SK Light at Thompson. Do you know who I'm picking?
No, I don't know who you're picking.
Sammy Anderson.
No way.
Wow.
Wow. Fro, I love your picks, bro.
Thank you. I love to spice it up, even if it ultimately backfires every time.
Oh, yeah. A little
Still spice it up.
Little Tabasco on there.
We'll see.
Good job.
I like the pick. That's why I made it. Limited late model at Stafford. Jason Lafayette, I'm pushing it from last week.
He was hauling the mail.
I believe he'll do it again.
Yep.
Seekonk Sportsman, Colby Lambert.
Back to back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that's what you call chalk.
You think so?
Oh, and
I
Nick
don't
Hovey
think
and
so.
Thompson. Oh, that's such a bold pick.
He just won last week. That's not chalk.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Come back and do it again. It's a tough division, too.
Speedbowl, street stock. Going with Plemon.
Clemens.
Another back-to-backer,
Yep.
huh?
Yes.
And for the touring series, I'm
Rob
going.
just said, just give me one last week. I'll fill this right out.
I'm going with the mod tour at the ever popular North Wilkesboro. Say Austin Beers gets it done.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a great pick.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how
No,
great
him
it
and
is.
Sly are going to be good together.
Right, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Rem.
Okay. Well, I guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry for anyone I picked. All right, so Thompson, 604, John Pulio. Stafford.
Chalk.
Shush. Stafford, I need to make something happen.
Yeah, no kidding.
Stafford, SK Lights, Nick Hovey. Seekonk, late models, Charlie Rose. Waterford, street stocks, Jordan Haley.
on.
Hadley.
Welcome back, Remy.
Yeah, I know, really.
I love it.
Say it enough times, it'll be right eventually.
I don't think that will happen, right?
What is his name?
Hadley?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Headley.
Haley?
What?
Wow. Wait.
How do you not know how to pronounce his name? How does that happen?
She's great. She is great.
Okay, anyway. Monaco Tri-Track, I go with Steven Kopchik.
Dude, can you believe the picks are over, right?
Tapley's asking if we're banned.
I just saw that
Nobody picked
nobody.
Silk.
Yeah.
We
We didn't
can't.
talk about that.
Why?
We all picked him last time.
Oh, that's true for Monaco.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the rules, Scott.
Oh, no, I picked him for the tour.
Is that what it was? Oh, it was the Sizzler we picked them all for. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Well, we're laying off them. We tuned them up pretty bad last time when we all
Wow.
picked them, so we're easing
I'm
up on
happy
them.
nobody picked him.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
All right, Rems.
Mm-hmm.
Great job by you with those picks.
Appreciate that.
How do you say his name again?
Hadley.
Why do you say it so fast?
She had to get it out before I left the
that's
conscious.
Left it by.
All
Exactly.
right, we're almost off the rails. Let's go.
say a big thank you to Riley Generators for sponsoring the Pop Culture Minute. So, I'm not a big movie kind of girl, but I've been waiting for this movie to come out that just came out on Netflix called Nonas. I'm about to smack you.
Oh, do it. That'll be good content.
I'm having fun over here. What's the problem?
Apparently. Way too much fun. Jesus.
Ooh, you called?
I'm sorry, Ram. Go ahead. Start it again. Do it again.
I had to start the whole thing.
No, you're good.
Thank God.
Continue from where you left off.
So, I watched it on Saturday. It was a cute, heartfelt movie. Here's the gist of it, kind of in a sense. It's based on an actual restaurant that is in Staten Island.
It's a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
With an actual nonna as a chef.
What was that?
You want to keep working here. Stay off the drugs. You want to keep working here.
Wait, what the hell did you say? What did you say?
Come on, Rams.
What? No.
Let me finish my segment.
Oh, Remy, you're the best.
Oh,
you are
Lord.
the best.
Come on.
Okay. It honestly made me remember things when I was younger with my big Italian family.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into cute drama, comedy movies, I say go for it and watch it. But if you hate when Italians say gravy instead of sauce, I would say you might have to skip it. So that is my little spiel on Nonas.
Do you call it gravy or sauce?
I call it gravy.
You do?
Yeah, I do call.
You call it gravy?
I'm like back and forth.
Why Italians call
There's like
spaghetti sauce gravy?
Well, there's rule. It depends.
What?
Well,
I've never heard that.
Oh, really?
No.
You've never heard that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Some of them call it all gravy. Sometimes people only call it gravy like if there's no meat in it, right?
Yes, that's
and
what
if there's
I do.
meat in it, then it's sauce. But if it's just like a marinara, then it's gravy.
Fro, you heard that before?
No.
Me either.
No.
So what do you
I'm
call
not that
gravy?
Italian. Me?
Gravy.
So you call that gravy too?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never heard that.
I usually say it like just like when I'm like joking around. Like I'll default to sauce more than anything else. Yeah.
Well, James says family dinners is gravy. So is it like the vessel that it's in determines it? Like if it's getting passed around, is it gravy?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Not my family.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all different.
Yep.
All right, Rems.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolutely tremendous. I don't know what the hell you said, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
Listen, about 2/3 of the way through, I had to look away because I kept looking at Diego. We were just trying not
I'm
to
like,
laugh.
I don't know what the hell did she say,
Yeah.
Lona? What the?
I had to face a wall
Oh,
over here. I had to
love-
face a chalkboard.
Remy's
All right,
the best.
I will. Let's
Dear
let's
Lord.
carry on here. Let's find out what's on tap, shall we? Shall we?
Come
Let's
on,
do it.
Let's do it.
I'm ready. Oh, I love this
There
part.
we
Oh,
go. I got it.
I love this. Oh, where's your face?
Where's your face?
I love this part.
All right, so lots going on. Starting tomorrow, we'll be up there at Thompson. You gonna be up there at Thompson? No, you are going
Flying out in
down
the morning.
south. Yeah, okay. So we'll be at Thompson. Stafford's got it going on. The Speedbowl. I should have thrown on there that the SK Light 30 lapper there is being postponed for. So that'll be this Friday at Stafford.
Yep.
The Bowl's got the Streeter 50 weekly racing at Seekonk, North Wilkesboro for the tour. And then you got Pass and the New England Supers over at White Mountain. So lots happening.
Yeah, it's
Right.
great week of
Yeah.
racing
Oh,
again.
yeah. And the SK Lights at Stafford, they're going to have an interesting stretch of weeks here because they got the 30 lapper. And then the week after, they're scheduled to run a 40. So
Wow.
Really?
that's going to be pretty intense for those guys.
Yeah, right on. All right. Listen, it is time for one of our favorite segments, live chat. Get yourself ready.
Oh, yeah.
Let's try to find out who won the week, shall we?
Who are you?
Skate it. We say it right.
It's tremendous.
It
Okay.
is tremendous.
All right. So, what's your thoughts here? The front runner for me is Jacob Burns, double wins over at Seekonk.
I'm going to vote for. So Jacob Burns deserves it, but I'm not going to give the credit to him. I'm going to give it to My buddy Tim Potter. He's his crew chief.
Oh, okay. Nicely done.
Okay.
All right. You got Moeller. You got Joey Dwyron. You got Jack's boy Barker.
Barker.
Yeah.
Oh, you should be taking him because he saved your butt.
Sore subject for you, but Devin DeShays, 2 wins in a row at the bowl in the late models.
That is pretty impressive.
Yep.
Definitely impressive.
Yeah, you can lock me in for Rowdy.
Yeah, that's a big weekend.
Yeah, make
Well,
that, yeah.
you guys are all locking in?
I mean, considering the fact that it's just one of those things where it hasn't been done in so long, it's really rare at any track. Even we kind of got spoiled with it a little with Rocco back in the day because he did it so often, so many times for 7 or 8 years. But to win 2 races in the same division, like if your division has a rain out makeup or double features or something, is impressive. To do it in 2 different divisions with 2 different cars, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Rowdy getting it. Man.
Yeah. All right, Rob, what are you thinking?
I'm giving it to Devin DeShays, man.
Oh.
Listen, yes,
Right in your
controversial.
face, Diego.
Sorry, Diego.
Well, that's not my
Sorry,
face.
Sean. No, but listen. I feel like he kind of came out of the woodworks here. I mean, am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah.
And he ripped off 2 in a row.
Listen, he was really good in the trucks,
I got to
man.
give it to him.
Yeah.
He's been a good little shoe.
Yeah, he's a good wheel man.
He's a good wheel man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what do you think? You got enough to do a tally?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, he's getting there.
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah, let's see what we got. They're coming in though. Burns is.
That's what I'm saying.
Tapley's saying that Jennison did it a while back. I mean, I'm going by what Seekonk said on their PA after Rowdy won the race. That's what I'm going by. Yeah. I know Jennison won the championship in 2 divisions, and that's actually really impressive as well.
Very impressive.
But as far as they said at the track after he won, he was the first to do it in 2-point divisions in 58 years.
Right.
So that's what I'm going by.
Wow. All right. Well, I have the tally if y'all are ready for it.
Let's bring it on, bro.
All right. The following 5 people all have 1 vote.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Barker, Tim Potter, Devin DeShays, Andrew Moeller, Bryce Pitcat.
Hold on.
What?
Your brother says to give it to the bus and the crew.
And 1 vote for the Speedbowl bus.
Okay.
Now infamous bus.
Yeah.
And the winner with 10 votes.
Oh, that might be
absolute landslide for Jacob Rowdy Burns.
Very good,
impressive.
Jacob.
That might be the most so far, right, Rob?
For the season? Yes, I believe so.
All right, everybody. Listen, thrilled to have you. We took a break from having the guests in, and yet we had the longest show of the year.
Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, they keep
Don't
us in
forget,
check.
follow us on socials now because we have all kinds of stuff. Remy will always entertain you. Diego, give us some shout-outs.
Hell yeah. We want to thank Fowler's Auto Wrecking for the weekly update. Of course, Waddell Communications for the Nostalgia Nugget. Hoosier Tire East for the Popcorn Stat Chat. Of course, Midstate Site Development for Did You Know? Ed Marcel Firewood and Land Clearing for the viewer mail. Of course, Myers Creamery for What's on Tap. Riley Generators, thank you for the Pop Culture Minute. Skake It LLC for Who Won the Week. Of course, F&M Electric Supply for the Chalkboard Chatter. Couldn't do without Monaco Ford and the results ticker. Thank you so much. Northeast Truck and Off-Road for the weekly pick'ems. Of course, Serve Pro of Norwich. Hair by Emma Monahan and Seekonk Grand Prix for the point standings. Got to give a special thanks to Vault Productions for this kick-ass studio because it is so much fun. I know I say it every week, but I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. You guys know it. I appreciate you guys. The whole crew here appreciates all you podcast members for tuning in the live chat. So thanks so much. Catch you next week.
I also want to say a big thank you to Seekonk Speedway and Rich Hearn for the video clips tonight.
Very well done, Rems. Listen, check us out next week. We got a lot to go over, and it's quite possible Remy will not be the only female in the studio. Come check us out, 7 o'clock next Tuesday. See you then.